What is good, everybody? Today we're gonna run through price action, look at the 0 trades that I took. I just want to run through this, look at some lessons from the day. Today was pretty simple, honestly. It should be pretty fast. Bro, so today we opened the market. Jeez, like this was a crazy run, right? I want to talk about one main thing, right? And that's my bias going into open, how I crafted it, why I was right, a couple things that I think you guys could have done, and just like some commentary on it, right? Going into open, I see the market as potentially being bearish, right? And the reason is because of this, right? We have NQ, right? So check, this is why I came with a bullish bias, right? But I'm watching this and I'm seeing this, right? ES sells off from all-time highs after an SMT and a sweep. I'll pull it up in the daily chart. I thought it was pretty clean, right? Yeah, right here. So we have a bigger time from SMT, a internal sweep, and now we start to sell off, right? Pretty drastic sell off too. And then from there, we continue lower, right? We come down, we sweep this internal sell side, right? And our standard deviation from our manipulation leg projects us to right here. That's exactly where we bounce. So now I'm looking for potentially back to equilibrium. So what I'm looking at here is in equilibrium, we have a 15-minute fair value gap. Huge, it's fat. We have a high right here, and we have a new week open gap right here. Really nice. And we also have midnight open below us, right? So if the market wants to use its more bullish one, which is ES, go up, take this high, place in some type of SMT, check out how NQ would most likely respond to that, right? If we place an SMT right here on NQ, this would be pretty sweet, right? Because if we look at our structure right now, we definitely have a ton of generated liquidity and midnight open gap and midnight open, new week open gap, fair value gap, everything we need to potentially see the market sell off, right? So coming into open, my pretty much two possibilities are either we're going to see this happen, right, today, where we see manipulation SMT and then we just see a really nice run lower on a Monday, right? Or we're going to just do exactly what we did today and just run higher. I'm not really sure how much, but I definitely think we have 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 highs above us, and we end up taking literally every single one. So super sweet opportunities, super sweet bias today. In terms of opportunities, there was dead ass pretty much nothing, right? I want to run through 2 potential opportunities, right? On open, it was just straight up, bro. There was pretty much 6 sister being played with NQ being the much weaker asset the whole day, pretty much. But where we see some type of opportunity, which I don't really think is too bad, I just don't love it enough, is right here. We see an SMT get placed in, right, after sweeping buy side. So this is where, like, some people maybe hopped into shorts right here, and I think this is stupid, honestly, right? There was no bearish SMT. It was just kind of an inversion of the current order flow, right? But why are we breaking structure on the 1 minute? It's to rebalance to the 5 minute, right? So 5 minute gets rebalanced to, from there, we end up holding this little 5 minute gap right here. And then 15 minute, we don't tap, right? That's the only reason I wasn't really looking into this as a trade. We don't tap the 15 minute, and then there's price just runs too fast for me, right? There's no good change in the state, manipulation, really no really nice internal structure that I like too much. The only way you could have traded this once again would have been to wait for these 2 inversions to happen and then just hop in, and there's a change in the state, right? So most likely it's going to be something like this for me, hop in and just market order with a very, very tight stop. And then from here, stop like right here, bro, and then go and break even the second we take this right here. Second, we take this high right here because this is our internal model stop, right? Think about our market maker model in terms of this little boy right here. This is where our internal model stops, so our entry is pretty much not protected at all. SMT doesn't matter, right? Once we take this high, internal model is over, so our SMT is no longer protecting that low, right? So then that's where we have to go break even, and then we can let the market run to whatever other objectives we think. I think this is okay. It's not my favorite. Really just aggressive, right? The second trade that ends up playing out, which I was going to take, but I really didn't love it too much, simply because of time and just the position that we were at the chart, is right here, right? So after we run higher for pretty much the entire AM session, around, I think this was what, like 10:30-ish? 10:21, we have ES take this external draw and we place in an SMT with NQ. So at that point, obviously, we're not just going to sell all the way back down to all these lows because we're within this big leg of bullish order flow, right? So from there, what I'm expecting the S2 to do, and this is what I see every single, like, honestly, day, a lot of days that the market moves a lot, I will see this play out where we will run, we'll place in an SMT, and the whole point of the SMT is just a rebalance price, and then we can get an internal model trade to this high, right? So the trade that we're looking at is from whatever the smart money reversal is to this high and potentially even a little bit more, right? So the trade today is right here. We see NQ run back to equilibrium of our range right here. We might have had some small type of internal SMT. Let's look. No, really nothing, right? So NQ just kind of comes down, equilibrium tap, and then from there we start to get a reaction higher, right? At this point, I'm not really considering any opportunity, but the point that I would have wanted to potentially get involved is after I see change in the state, I would have had to say, all right, I'm going to market order this and then stop wherever I want it to be, probably somewhere around here, right? And then from there, I'm going to leave probably most of my position to these highs, right? But let me tell you why, once again, I wouldn't take this trade. I'm kind of happy I didn't, is because the way that most of the time I'm taking this trade is I'm going to be letting the market go to this external take profit, right? But once I see the market give me a little move and we get to a point where we could maybe want to turn around, right? Maybe we want to generate another high up here, then run lower, stop me out. Or maybe we're just moving way too slow right here. We're way too inefficient. At that point is when I say, all right, I'm hopping off. I'm not going to let this price action kill me. And because of that, I go stop to break even. Probably somewhere around this point, right? Once I see these two candles come in, I'm happy I did that. And then we get stopped to break even. Check this out now, right? At this point, we're stopped to break even and the market runs without us. What can we do? Two things position management wise to still limit our risk, but also be potentially exposed to opportunity, right? First thing, and this is what I've kind of been doing in some of my backtesting sessions, is to simply just choose a very close point to put your stop at, right? So instead of going break even, right? Say we have $500 risk right here, we can lower it to like a $100 risk and still maybe be a little bit red in the day, but have a really good chance to stay in the position in case something happens, right? So for example, we could have just lowered it right to where this fair value gap starts. Let's check this out on maybe the 3-minute chart. Yeah, we could have just lowered it to this low of that candle for value gap, and then if we see it, that ends up holding, right? So we pretty much get out of the potential to be stop rated, but we also limit our risk by like a really good like 80-90%, right? And it depends how tight you want to go with this, right? If you went any tighter, you probably would have got stopped out and then it runs, but that's one way. The second way, which honestly is pretty much just as advantageous, if not more, is to just go stop to break even and look to re-enter if you get further affirmation, right? So say we get stopped here or break even and then we get this nice inverse, go ahead, enter back in, lower size, take the same trade, boom, and then this ends up playing right here for a pretty little penny, right? That's a really good way to trade this model and end up, banking on the day. But pretty much everything after this, I did not really like. There was some type of stuff right here, but bro, the reason I don't hop into this trade right here is because it's at 11:10. If this was at like 10:50 and price was moving a little bit better, I would have hopped in. But the whole thing here for me is like, all right, price is just not giving me the opportunity I want. This is not really my type of favorable conditions that I'm finding I'm making the most money in. And because of that, I'm just going to hop off, bro. Not take any buns trades. Really nice bull run, right? I would have loved to see something like this during the AM session, anywhere from like 9:30 to 10:50, bro. If we could see something like this right here, we come down, generate some lows, stop rate that with an SMT, and then run higher. That's my trade setup to just create a crazy banger all the way to these highs, right? But if we don't get that, I'm not taking a setup. It's as simple as that, right? And then this like stuff like this is what I usually get on these running days, right? If it's not there, I'm not going to trade it. No problem. You just gotta stick to your edge. Don't look for something that's not there, y'all. Like this is the same opportunity right here, but it's way higher in premium. It's at a bad time. All these different things that are making it a much lower probability opportunity that tells me that I'm just gonna sit out and see what the market wants to do. Use it for data for the journal, make a WTrading cap off of it, and then just simply sit here, bro, and just watch what happens. So that for now, I'm gonna let you boys go. Thank y'all for hopping on with me, investing in yourselves, learning a little bit more, and hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of knowledge, how I'm seeing the charts, all those things. Hopefully we can both make it in 2026. Make this a great year for both of us, and I'll catch y'all later. So peace out.